welcome to the link. And to just bring you up to speed, the Court of Appeal has ordered Uganda Revenue Authority to refund billions of shillings, which was illegally levied from the over 13,000 traders who imported goods for 11 years. Court found there was no legal basis on which the impugned tax was collected. In an unanimous decision delivered on Monday, the three judges of the Court of Appeal ruled that there is no law which authorized the URA to collect domestic value-added taxes, or VAT, at the rate of 15%. Now, a reading by Justice Barishaki of the provisions of the law shows that VAT can only be collected at a rate of 18%. It does not provide for collection of domestic VAT at a rate of 15%. There appears to be no statutory instrument issued by the minister and approved by Parliament specifying the rate of domestic VAT payment. So, and I quote, that was the judge talking there, submitting his ruling. So to make us understand that situation and what traders are looking for and who benefits on ETC is Francis Kamleger from PricewaterhouseCoopers. You're very welcome, Francis.
Thank you. And
you are known famously for, being at the front line of, trying to make sure that the economy stays afloat, economic activity is during the COVID-19 pandemic, and that and that you are involved in, advising government to put the monies in correct use. But also, why do I say that? Because you advised on deferrals, by the URA and all that. But let's go straight to this situation. What exactly is the story?
Thank you, and very good evening, viewers. I think your intro covered it.
Sure.
Close to 14,000 importers filed a suit through their lawyers, challenging the legality of the Uganda Revenue Authorities collecting domestic taxes from them on their imports. As per the law, when you import goods into Uganda, there are a range of taxes you pay. Briefly, depending on the nature of the goods, you are required to pay import duty. That ranges from 0 to 25%, depending on what it is that you're importing. Then, most importantly, you are required to pay import VAT at 18%, and that's what the judge in the ruling referred to. Now, Revenue Authority, in their wisdom and judgment, looked at a lot of these importers who import goods into the country, and for some reason, those importers never appear anywhere after the point of importation. And they decided to apply some arithmetic and came up with a new tax that is not supported by the law, and that is the domestic VAT of 15%. And they've been collecting that from importers for so many years. So 14,000, close to 14,000 importers did a representative action, what we call a class action, challenging the legality of that measure. Initially, the High Court ruled in favor of the URA, saying that what URA was doing was irregular, but not illegal. And the importers did not agree with that, and they went to the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal also agreed with the importers and actually said what was being done was not just irregular, but it was unlawful or illegal in the sense that it's not supported by the law. And more specifically, the Court of Appeal ruled that the URA should refund the money that was collected illegally from the importers. What I liked about this judgment is that it says the money should be refunded to the persons whom it was collected from, not to be refunded in court, not to be refunded to their lawyers. And that creates a very interesting position for both the importers but also for the URA. And
that was between 2012 and 2013.
Correct.
That's quite interesting. I mean, when you look at the sum of money that we're talking about, it's a huge sum of money.
It is.
You take that money out of URA's pockets or out of government's coffers, and in the time of a crisis, there's going to be a problem. But also going forward, so tell us, who benefits from this? And after telling us whether that is possible, maybe I need to speak about who benefits from this ruling and how will they benefit from it? And will these traders ever put their hands on this money?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think even before we talk about that, you have to understand that the Revenue Authority collected this money, much as it's been ruled that the manner in which it was collected was illegal. They collected it from the importers on the basis that if somebody imports tiles or television sets or shirts or you name it into the country, the expectation is that they should be selling those goods on the local market. And if you sell those goods on the local market, then you should charge VAT, just like manufacturers charge VAT on their alcoholic beverages, just like telecom companies charge VAT on airtime. So anybody who makes a sale to the local market and you sell goods or services worth more than 150 million, you should be on the Revenue Authority's radar filing VAT returns. But because these importers are elusive and very slippery and they're not in the system, URA said, let's catch these guys at the point of importation and then impose that VAT. Unfortunately, that was not in accordance with the law. So who benefits from the ruling? Everybody. First of all, the importers benefit going forward in the sense that they will not be required to pay 15% VAT going forward. Yeah? Going backwards, you have to go through a process of a refund, and we'll talk about that. URA benefits. URA benefits in the sense that, you know, they were playing around with the law and, you know, they got away with it for quite some time, but now there's certainty and clarity, what we call rule of law. And for that matter, now they know that you cannot do this. And it's very important for tax law in this country. And thirdly, the business community, investors, and myself, yourself.
It's a very crazy situation.
Exactly.
I know we don't have a lot of time,
Yeah.
but is it possible that you said it would take a very long process over the years to have this refund?
Well, I think the law prescribes very clearly what you have to go through to get a refund.
Okay.
So whereas they did a class action of 14,000 importers suing the URA collective as a group, court said refund this money to them individually because you collected it from them as individuals. So every single one of those importers has to file a return with the Revenue Authority.
That's going to be very difficult at the time when the URA is, you know, facing deficits, you know, etc. I don't want us to make them lose them.
No. I think
because I know it's a long conversation there. That
yeah, but very briefly, this judgment is good for the URA. Okay. Because URA should just sit back and wait for returns from 14,000 importers. Okay. Those importers are not going to get that money back unless they file their returns. If you're an importer and you know that you are not in the good books of the URA, chances are that you might shy away from going to claim that money. Okay. So URA only refunds it if it's an excess.
I get the trick,
Yes.
and that's going to be, we're going to see litigations, etc. and arbitrations.
Exactly.
So domestic VAT 15% and 18% briefly as we go. What's the difference, if you could put it in shorter sentences?
Like I said, the law provides for one rate of tax. That's 18%.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
But what's the difference between the two? That's domestic and 18%.
Okay, 18% import VAT is the VAT you pay when you import a good. You see, if you can import a shirt, you don't pay tax in Japan or Turkey where you bought the shirt.
That's 18%.
That's 18%, yes.
And then the 15%?
And then the 15% was a number Revenue Authority came up with and said, you know, if you make a sale, you make a profit of maybe 20%, and then whatever number it is working backwards, and said maybe you should pay 15%.
That's for the interest of viewers who seek to understand what this whole thing is about. But thank you very much, Francis, for joining us and trying to explain these tax issues. It's not easy. And PricewaterhouseCoopers always welcome to educate the public and know about these things so that they don't make mistakes, especially the business community, which we know is not very well versed with tax terms and all that. Yeah. So that's the link, and thank you very much for joining us. NTV Tonight still continues.